I believe we are going to crush these guys.
First response when Ryan played that drop from Luds was, can we get somebody with like a deeper voice or something like that? Of course,
James Earl.
Cartman is not going to have a deep voice, but he does like his cheesy poofs. And we are happy you're here because it's time for the pregame show. Stars, Blue Jackets. Are you ready? Good evening, everybody. This is the DLLS Stars. Nope, this one. Sorry, I was over on the other camera for a second. Force of habit. This is the DLLS Stars pregame show. Game number 6. Here we go. Stars, Blue Jackets. Greg Ludwig. I'm Owen Newkirk, our producer.
Game 6
always.
or 60?
We're not there yet.
7% of the NHL season.
Look at Luds with the quick math. That must be all that currency money you're working with.
7%.
Yeah, exchanges.
97 games.
He's a savant, folks.
Yeah.
We have Ryan Vaughters as our producer, as usual, and we are thrilled to have you here as we talk about the Stars and the Blue Jackets. Luds, before we get to our lineup, which is a big one tonight, I want to talk about a get-right game. Kind of feels like the Stars need a get-right game. 2 losses in a row. They have been really good under Pete DeBoer of avoiding 3 in a row for the most part. It happened right at the end of last year with us. They were winless in 7. That was not a great way to go into the playoffs. They still got to the conference final for the 3rd year in a row. But here we go. Glenn Gulson, he acknowledged it at practice yesterday saying, yep, it's really important you don't get to 3 because that's when it starts to trickle in. And I say that because Stars are in 7th place in the 8-team Central Division tonight. Now, again, 5 games into the year. Don't make any sweeping generalizations. But Winnipeg has won 5 in a row since losing to Dallas. Colorado and Utah have both won 3 straight. Avs haven't lost since they lost to the Stars. And suddenly you feel like maybe you got to try to get out of this rut quickly because A, you're supposed to. B, you got to keep pace with those big teams in your division.
Yeah, the wagon train's moving along without them, right? You call it a get right. I would think that I would look at it as a complete game. And we've seen pockets, and then there's been the poor pockets. And I think what Gully would like to see, along with the rest of the coaching staff, along with the players, is just keep piling one on top of the other. And I'm talking about shifts. One good shift, one good shift, one good shift. And again, yes, you want to stop the bleeding, at 2 or 3 or 4 max, whatever you want. But even if you lose a hockey game right now, a close game, a 1-goal game, a fluky game, whatever, but play that complete game, it's something to build on, because then they'll look at things and say, we've improved in this area, we've improved in this. We know that we're going through the whole system tweaking and things like that, and I'm sure, and that line's only going to work for a little while. Where we're still getting it and we're getting closer to it and things like that. So, but yeah, they want to put one game on top of another game on top of another game, and then start crawling their way back into, because you don't want to continue to look at those taillights, because when those taillights start getting smaller and smaller in the distance, and you get into where you've got 40, 50 games to go, and all of a sudden you're running out of runway, even though you've got just over half a season left.
Now, I was going to play the clip of this because Mike Heika sent us the audio yesterday of Gully at practice talking about that exact thing, but the Stars didn't post it. We don't have the video, so I will paraphrase. He basically said, Luds, that it's a 1st to 3. Now, I think in the last couple of years we've started to see 4-3 league games more than 3-2 games, but Gully still believes, he said, if you look at the Stars winning streak, they had a 7-game winning streak last year. For the most part, they are at 2 goals allowed or under, and on their losing streak, it was 3, 4, 5. You're starting to let more in. He's really focused on getting this team to letting in 2 goals or less on every given night.
Yeah, and it used to be a 3-2 league, and then the rules changed a little bit, and now you'll hear some people say it's a 4-3 league.
Yep.
And so I think what Gully is hoping is you get to 3 before they get to 3. and we don't have to try to catch you and get to 4. Because by then, I mean, usually that's not happening in the first period. It's happening later in the game, and you're running out of time and everything else. So, but yeah, I think that in the back of their minds, or maybe in the front of their minds, and they don't say it out loud, they just want to get some of the little mistakes out of the way. And the little mistakes are costing them at times. And again, Jake is, I don't want to say that Jake and Casey are doing completely their thing, because there are little things that they're not, their shipping isn't as tight as it probably should be from a goaltending standpoint. So they're in this boat together, the goaltenders, the defensemen, the forwards, and the coaching staff. And so I think, though, that they seem to be, you walk into that room, but I think they seem to be kind of level-headed about where they're at right now. There's no panic, my God, the guy's falling, all this other kind of stuff, because we haven't even gotten to the 10-game mark.
No. And again, would have clipped it today if we had it. Gully talked about they're not doing certain things instinctively yet. They're still thinking through and reacting to stuff. He goes, I want them to do it without having to think at all. He did say that repeatedly, it's not the systems, it's the puck management. It's making turnovers when you don't need to. Well, actually, you know what? Since we're talking about it, we'll get to Matt Duchene. It's a big thing. Matt Duchene not playing tonight. We'll talk about it in a second. Let's hear from Thomas Harley, Luds, because here's what he had to say, which kind of echoes what his head coach was saying about how they're managing the puck in the last 5 games.
Well, I mean, the goal in this league every night is to win. That's no different tonight. And we'll try and fix some of the things that have caused us to lose 2 in a row here.
What are some of those things? It seems like the second periods in the last 2 games, and I don't know if there's anything you see or...
Yeah, I'm less concerned with what period's happening in and more what's actually happening, and that's just kind of cleaning up breakouts, managing pucks in neutral zone, and then going to work in the yellow zone.
Simple, succinct, but he makes a good point.
Well, what they mean by managing the pucks, there's times when you don't carry it through certain areas. You put it into an area, let somebody else get into it. There's times that, use Colin Blackwell's play from the other night, there's times where things go up the wall and they go out instead of trying to make one more little play in a tight area, in a dangerous area. So that's the difference of management and mismanagement when it comes to puck play.
We're going to get back to Colin Blackwell because I'm glad you mentioned him. I talked to him today and we have a couple clips, but we're going to get to that. Matt Duchene not playing tonight. He's out with what Gully said was the lingering effects of the hit that he suffered against the Minnesota Wild a week ago today. So Tuesday of last week, that Jake Middleton hit. He did play after missing Thursday's game against Vancouver last week. He played in St. Louis, but then he didn't practice yesterday. He skated today. He had a different visor on today, Luds, a tinted visor that we haven't seen from him in the past. But he's not going to play tonight. And so because of that, Justin Ritzkovian will check back in. He was a scratch against the Blues. And the Stars are going to shuffle up their top 6 a little bit. Take a look at the forward lines. Based on this morning's skate, Tyler Seguin up with Roope Hintz and Mikko Rantanen. Robertson, Johnson, and Bork staying together. And a very different look, third line of Ritzkovian, Steele, and Blackwell.
Well, guys are slowly getting to where they should be down here.
Didn't you talk about this yesterday?
Yeah, and again, I just it is what it is, right?
Now you had suggested, compared to this top 6, just flipping Seguin and Robertson with Hintz and Rantanen, and Seguin with Johnston and Bork. Are you good with the way this shakes out?
Totally fine with it, but I just think that who is the pure goal scorer in that top 6?
Jason Robertson.
And I just think that Hintz and Rantanen can create more for him.
Yes.
Now, that being said, Tyler is probably or if not one of the top, next to Rantanen, smartest player out there. And
he's also a shooter, Luds.
Yeah, and what'll happen here, and Hintz does it when Robo's up there. I say this all the time about Robo. Not the fastest guy in the league, right? But what happens when you play with Roope is because of his speed, and when he comes across the offensive blue line, he backs people off. And so there's a pocket. There's a pocket 5-6 feet below the top of the blue line. There's a hole there. And when Robo comes in there and he finds that hole, because Robo's he doesn't keep up with Hintz. Not many people do. But Hintz creates those pockets. Tyler Seguin is going to find the same thing. The good news about Tyler Seguin being there versus Robo, when Tyler comes in there being right-handed, he's already in a shooting area when that pocket happens. So Hintz will back somebody off. Tyler can come off of his left wing, slide a couple of feet to the right, and before you know it, he's in a better shooting area then Robo would be backhanded, or I should say on his forehand. So I just think that there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that Tyler now is going to have to play on the wall a little bit more on his offside down in his own zone.
Which can be an adjustment at times if you're not used to it. But here's the thing.
He's not a 3-year player. He's been doing this for a long time.
Don't expect these lines to stay the way they are, because to me, I saw that my first thought, Luds, was, well, it's because the pairing that Gulutzan likes of Duchesne and Seguin isn't available tonight because Matt Duchesne's not playing. So now you lose one of the two primary guys of that quote-unquote second line that they have. But you see the other pairings, right? Whether it's Johnston and Bork or Johnston and Robertson. I'm kind of not sure which way he goes on that, because I think it may be Bork, but it's Rantanen and Hintz right now. If Duchesne comes back, I would fully expect Seguin and Duchesne to come back on another line, and they shake out that top 9.
Yeah, I mean, they'll when Matt's healthy, nothing again.
I never thought could be Thursday night against the Kings.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never thought he should have played that soon. I said that because Ryan and I were talking before he got here. I guess you were stuck in traffic again.
Oh, yes. By the way, Ardell is in the chat right now saying he's got the Dallas North Tollway South Blues. I got here a lot closer to the start of the show than I would have preferred because of a single car accident down near the bottom of the tollway.
You guys do know that there's accidents every day on the tollway.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Like,
isn't
you
it?
just kind of leave earlier because you just plan on something happening.
Well,
then you sit in the garage for a little while by yourself in
there
the car.
you go.
But here's that hit again. And again, I was talking to Ryan about that. That's a hit. I was very surprised that there wasn't even an idea that he was coming back. And when I saw this morning that he had the tinted visor on, like, there's your sign right there, because the reason he's wearing tint is because of the lights. Lights is a big problem for concussions, and they create more headaches and like that. So the reason he's wearing that tint, my belief, is to be able to get on the ice, skate, stay active and everything like that, and not leave there having there's a
like the light sensitivity to it.
There's a whole thing, and I was going to have you read it. I sent it to Ryan today, but since we didn't have a picture of the visor, do you have it, Ryan? I just want to see that thing I sent you, that big write-up. Yeah, well, anyway, it doesn't matter.
You just wanted me to read a bunch of technical
I wanted you to
jargon.
read it, but it because I knew it was out there somewhere, and it is about light sensitivity. And what happens is I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know. All I know is the light gives him a headache. Yeah. And so it's just, I mean, again, when you're playing in the arena with all the lights there, it would just make it worse. So it wouldn't surprise me if he does come back and play and he keeps that.
Okay, so the other news of the last 2 days is, as you see on the right side of your screen, Nils Lundkvist placed on IR yesterday. Gully said yesterday after practice, Luds, that they don't plan on calling somebody up immediately because they have a 3-game homestand and then a one-off trip to Nashville. However, next week they're going to Tampa and then Florida. And he confirmed we will have to call someone up so we have an extra defenseman. Whether it's Trey Turner, whether it's Kolyachonok, maybe even Kyle Capobianco, yet to be seen. But someone does have to be called up. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, because 6 they have, they're happy with. Here's the D for tonight and the goaltending. No surprises. You've got Lyubushkin with Harley, Petrovic with Bishel, and of course Lindell up top with Heiskanen. But they will have to send a player down or place Lundkvist on LTIR. Now, Oscar Beck was at the morning skate today on the ice. A step. He's not ready to play yet, but he's getting closer slowly. If Oscar Beck can return, then they can send down a forward because Beck is on IR. He's not on LTIR, which means his salary still counts against the cap. So if they were to send somebody down, I'm just going to say Ritzkovian because he's easily be able to send down through without having to go through waivers. They would have room to call up one of those defensemen. They'd have the extra forward, no problem. But if Beck's not ready yet, that's where they have the Mark Janko salary cap gymnastics to try to figure out how would they be able to call up a defenseman while also not limiting themselves to 12 forwards.
Yeah, and when you're going on the road, you have to have that body there, especially for the defenseman, because you don't want to play a game with 5D or something. First shift of a game, and you got to play one more game. And to my knowledge, there's nobody up front. Brendan Smith, if he was in the lineup, if he was here.
You could have both.
That's not a dig. I was just
I
was quickly trying to come up with someone that could play up front and put back, so you would be able to have that guy that's there that could play in the back or play up front.
I mean, that was one of the luxuries of a guy like Brendan Smith was he had some toughness to your lineup. He was a veteran, and he could play in your third pairing or he could play in your fourth
Everything
line.
we hear, a great teammate.
I know he's not on the team anymore, but I can't help but think if he was on the roster this year with a different coaching staff,
Talk about a better opportunity, more opportunities.
and the way that Gully wants to play,
Yep.
it feels like he'd be the perfect fit.
He will.
But it
But he's
didn't
not.
work. He's available. He got released. I think he was in Columbus's camp this year, but released from the PTO. So,
yeah, one of you guys sent the text message
Yeah.
out there about that. Yeah.
so anyway, we're going to talk more about the Blue Jackets, more about the Stars. We have some sound to hear from Colin Blackwell. We'll get to all that as we continue here on the DLLS Stars pregame show next.
Where the Steve Oettinger shirt comes up?
Steve Oettinger. I love it.
Do we have a Jake Oettinger shirt tonight? Or do we have a Steve Oettinger shirt? Anyway, this
What
is
would the Steve Oettinger shirt be?
I would say
Because that's a combination of Steve Ott and Jake Oettinger.
he would have.
Would
his,
it have to be both of them?
He would have his fist in somebody's face, or his glove in somebody's face,
Or at least a yap.
But what would
Somebody
be
chirping.
The words that would be coming out of his mouth should be in like 4 different languages. Because I don't know if people actually know. Steve Ott would learn the language of players that he played against, whether it was a Swede, a Finn, a Russian, whatever. He would learn a couple words that he could yell at guys to piss them off. So anyway,
And he was very
that was
good
the
at it.
Jake Oettinger shirt. I mean, we're talking about the DLLS merchandise stuff, right? So that was Jake Oettinger. We got a couple Miko shirts. We got the finisher. I believe we have the finisher and the moose.
Ooh.
There's the finisher and the moose. I'm not crazy about the finisher. I like the moose one a
You
little
know,
bit more because
my younger son actually requested that shirt. He has the finisher shirt. He liked it.
Does he?
Yep.
Well, then there you have to
So
be 7. I
again,
guess.
it depends on your personal taste. You like the moose one. You have the moose hat on the table here.
Well, Kat put it there, or I think Ryan put it there.
I'll
again.
tell you what.
Yeah.
People in the
Okay,
chat.
besides the moose, what do we got? Oh, do we have Roddy up there tonight? Do we have Roddy? I know this isn't. Oh, see? There it is. Rookie of the year. Paige Becker.
Becker. So
Damn.
close.
I
So
keep
close.
getting. It's Beuker.
It's spelled a little differently,
It
but it
sounds
is
more like Booker.
Beckers,
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Paige. I'll get it right next time. But anyway, that's available for something somehow.
All
Somewhere.
right.
I don't know.
Speaking of supporters club now, because
Damn it.
here's Harry in the
Booker?
chat with the supporters club badge saying, "I'm wearing the Madonna 16-bit shirt for tonight." So there you go.
Madonna.
he's
I thought
wearing-
it was Wyatt.
Well, there's the
Or
Madonna.
is that the 8-bit?
No, that's the 16-bit, but
I
the
thought you said
Madonna
it was an 8-bit. shirt.
No, it's a 16, but it's for there's a Madonna was one of the first ones we had,
Oh, okay.
and now the Wyatt one. But anyway, sicko level stuff. Sign up for supporters club. You can have special badging. Yoshi 639, Lane Staley. You guys showing off your supporters clubs as well as people like Ardell and Harry who have the fancy
It
ones.
looks like Radigan. That little guy holding the thing up there. Can you go back to that? Yeah, that there. That looks like Radigan to me. That looks like John Radigan.
have you told
to
him
me.
that?
I have not, because I just thought of it.
Well, you should tell
Yeah,
him. I
I'm
can't
gonna.
wait. Sign up for the supporters club so you have a little extra exposure when you do chats live here on YouTube. Okay, let's hear from Colin Blackwell. We're gonna have 2 clips here. Now he's a little bit more wordy than Thomas Harley, who's succinct.
I ain't gonna take much.
No, it isn't. But here's what Blackwell had to say about the way the team's been playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think every single day is you're learning something new every single day, and I think depending on what team we play, I think the system stays the same. Try to find that that identity, that mindset. I know for me, definitely a work in progress. Haven't been like 100% happy with my game, but at the same time, there's definitely moving pieces, but I don't think that's an excuse. I think it's kind of the mindset type of thing of going out there and playing. Trying to find that team identity, but also playing to your own identity individually. And I think, it's a good opportunity the first 5 games so far, get to play with a lot of different people. And I think just making the most of that. And like you said, I think there's a lot of, moving pieces, but at the same time, we had a really good preseason, really good training camp in order to kind of get some of those systems down. And I think now it's more second nature. It's a matter of, being confident in yourself, and then, that everybody's going to follow suit into that system.
Okay, now don't get hung up on he's not happy with his own game, because I asked to follow up with that. We'll get to hit that in a minute. But talking about establishing the team's identity while also playing to your own individual identity.
Didn't he say find my identity? Did he say?
I think he's saying find our identity.
Okay, well, he knows his identity.
He knows.
He's been playing his identity for probably since he started. He's slotted in a certain spot. That's why I give him some rope. Not to hang himself with, but some rope to
Poor Colin.
some more leash, I guess, is what, a little more runway because he should stay within who he is. So, but when you play with those top level players at times, you know that they want pucks on their stick. They don't like going into the chip puck along the wall. They would rather get it on the fly in a certain spot and all that other kind of good stuff that skilled guys can do. And so, he got caught on one the other night that unfortunately resulted in a game-winning goal. But
Glad you brought that up, Luds, because we asked him about. He's just like Maverick Bork last week. He said he wasn't happy with his game. I said why, and he wants to put up more points. Colin Blackwell said he wasn't happy with his game, so I asked him why.
What about your game aren't you happy with right now?
Yeah, no, I think holding on to pucks and just little puck decisions. I think last year we played kind of so direct, so I just need to get back to simplifying a few things and really just look at that Vancouver game turnover that cost a goal that typically I don't make those those mistakes, and just little things like that. Just got to clean up a few things from just spacing and timing, and defensively haven't been happy. I got some minuses. I've always prided myself in being able to take that on, and so just the little things. First 5 games of learning from some of the mistakes that you made, and kind of just building off that. And offensively, it's just holding on to pucks, being a little bit more aggressive, and you find yourself sometimes in maybe a gray area, and it's just got to get back to that aggressive mindset.
It wouldn't surprise me by the time that play happened and it ends up going in, behind the goaltender. By the time he got back to the bench, he was going, I should have just went up the wall with it. I should have. This is what I do. I don't make those plays. And so, but that's what I mean is you kind of get in between what you're doing, why coaches rely on you guys to be out there at the end of periods, end of games when you're up a goal to play on your own end, because you just do the ugly, hard things and you work pucks out of your own zone.
It's fascinating because I love the fact that he's accountable for himself.
I love that.
I love the directness of I take pride in being a plus player, because here's the thing: when you're not a big time offensive producer,
and for him, unfortunately, he's not a plus player at this time,
right? And when you aren't, if you're going to be one of the guys that's not one of the big goal scorers or big setup guys, you've got to be good defensively, and you can't turn the puck over. And he's done both so far. He knows it. He's going to try to correct it.
Yeah, and I think Sam Steele, Colin Blackwell, when they're together on the penalty kill, I have a lot of confidence in those two guys when they're killing penalties, and that's their identity. Is they're guys that do the little things, the detailed things. They're blue collar kind of guys, and when they play with white collar guys, they kind of want to kind of run with those kind of guys. So. And again, I've said this before. I think Colin Blackwell or Sam Steele should be out there before Wyatt Johnston. I do, and I think you can. I think two reasons. I think Wyatt doesn't quite have it yet, where to be, lanes to be in, and that he will be eventually. And again, you want your best players out there. Now, other coaches will argue that at times because we don't need them in the line of fire all the time and injuries and things like that. But he is a threat because the people that are playing at the top on the power play, they don't make the same plays when they have, again, Mike Modano's out there. They have the instincts to pick pucks off, and you lay back a little bit because you're worried about people going the other way. So I just think, and the other thing is, Wyatt isn't 195 pounds, and he'd have some more gas left in his tank if he didn't have to kill penalties all the time, and those guys could take those roles.
Let's talk about the goalie matchup tonight, because it'll be Jake Oettinger coming off his first loss of the season, although he wasn't the reason why they lost to the Blues the other night. And then Elvis Merzlikins will be going for the Blue Jackets, who have had very good goaltending so far between Merzlikins and young Jet Greaves. They've literally alternated every other game, even though Greaves got them a big win. They're 2-3 so far as a team. They were in danger of losing 3 in a row, and they beat the surprisingly struggling Tampa Bay Lightning on Saturday in Columbus. Greaves was in the net, but Dean Evison is going to continue to roll. And he said it's not a hard decision right now, Luds, because he feels he's been getting good goaltending from both. So you alternate, or he said flip a coin, basically, because you're going to get a good performance.
Save percentage of .920 and what was the goals against? 352, 354.
Yep,
that makes sense.
What it means is seeing a lot of shots.
You know what it means.
Yeah,
but they're good numbers for him. I mean, they're okay. I don't like goals against. Giving up 4 goals a game. But, and again, Columbus is Columbus. I just don't know if Columbus is the team that was there last year. I said that after the show.
So I was talking to somebody that I know, one of the broadcasters for the Blue Jackets, actually.
This is a must-win.
And they said, interesting thought about that. I think this group thought that they were just going to carry over their play and their spirit from the end of last year into this year, and it doesn't work that way.
Living in Dallas, aren't we? I mean,
right.
I mean,
you can't just pick up where you left off. You've
You've
got to earn it. You got to work for
it. The same. We say that at the end of the summer, or at the end of the summer when you're starting the preseason, and then we say that at the end of the regular season when the playoffs start. It doesn't work like that. You have no points when you start game 83 in the playoffs. So everybody's back to even. So you have to kind of get your game together through them first 82. Next year it'll be through the first 84, and you move on from there.
All right, let's go to the lines for the Blue Jackets, because they, just like the Stars, have done a lot of line juggling so far. Dean Evison has moved Kent Johnson around 3 different lines already. Adam Fantilli has been in a couple different lines. They added Charlie Coyle. They're really happy with his play so far to kind of solidify the 3rd center position. But, Luds, as we were talking about yesterday, Marchenko's their guy. He has 5 goals already in his first 4 games. But they're missing something so far. Is it one center, the first line center? I mean, Monahan's a nice player.
Monahan hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Marchenko is doing it all. And Marchenko's a shooter. I mean, he's a typical one-way guy. I get pucks to the net. I mean, he's got plus 20-some shots, So, I like, again, I'm a fan of those kind of guys. I like Jenner. I wouldn't mind Jenner on this team. Just the role that he plays, how he plays, and, heavy guy on the walls and stuff like that. We've seen Charlie Coyle in a couple different teams now. So, Olivier, I don't know if there's anybody that's going to.
I was just going to ask you. Matthew Olivier is as tough as they get as a fighter in the NHL right now.
You know what side of the ice he's coming down on?
He's coming down his right. The other team, a.k.a. the Stars, left.
Like Leon Bischel's side.
Is that really something that is? Does Bischel need to do that?
Bischel needs to be looking at that stuff. No, I'm not saying he should do that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that Olivier will know which guy on the Dallas Stars, as he will on other teams, who leads their team in hits.
Yep.
Who's this? Who's that? And so that he's aware of that right now. I would think, and I don't know Leon's, mindset, but he should know with Olivier. And again, these guys are up on it. They should know that the guy can throw them around.
You mentioned they need a win. Well, they have the worst special teams on both sides. 32nd in power play at 7.7%, and they are 55.6% the worst penalty kill. Luds, with Duchesne out, Esa Lindell was on the second power play unit today, playing in the bumper, the middle, a.k.a. the heart, whichever terminology you prefer. Here's what the power play units look like the morning skate today. Obviously, the first unit, exactly the same. Second unit.
Sam Steele's on the power play, though.
Sam Steele's still out there. Harley, now this isn't obviously to the 1-3-1 shape, but Lindell was in the middle. Steele in the net front with Sagan and Bork on the half wall.
Well, here's my thought. With their special teams and their PK as poor as it is, that second unit might not see a lot of time.
Possibly.
Because the first unit's going to be out there. They're going to
They'll be
score.
greedy.
They're going to go 5-on-5. They're going to get back out there. They're going to score again. They're going to get 3 power play goals tonight. Take that clip.
Couple quick things for you. 5-game point streaks so far to start the year for Mikko Rantanen, has a team-high 7 points, and Wyatt Johnston, who's leading in goals with 4. They've each scored in every game so far this year. Mikko has goals in consecutive games. Wyatt, of course, scored goals in each of the first 4 games. Those two have been the most productive offensive players for Dallas so far.
I think you would expect that. And I think Robo's been very, very good. How many shots has Robo got? I'm going to say right now Robo already leads the team. I don't know if I should go out on a limb on that one. I would think Robo leads the team in shots.
How many do you think he has?
Oh, man. I'm going to say at least, let's say 5. How many games we played?
5 games.
I'm going to say he's 25.
23. Very close.
23?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
nobody else has 20. So the next closest is Rope Hintz with 17 shots on goal.
And I'm happy with that because Rope sometimes doesn't seem to shoot the puck as much as we'd like him to.
He probably should shoot more, yes.
Yeah. But again.
But is that because he's playing with Mikko, who's such a good passer?
This is where if Waddle was listening, he could tell me how much time Robo, Hintz, and Rantanen have played together. And I'm going to say of those 23 shots that Robo has, the majority of those will come from playing with those two guys.
You know what's amazing?
And the other way around with the other ones.
I hadn't looked at this earlier, just now. Shooting percentages, not the tell-all of end-all of be-all of stats.
Wyatt's has got to be pretty good.
28.6%.
Well, That's
Robo
not staying there.
Robo is at 8.7. That's lower than his career
Yeah.
average. And Hintz is at 5.9, which suggests there's some room for some goal scoring growth from those two guys.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't go in if you don't shoot it. So, again, I like what Robo seems to be doing that every single time he gets it. And what's nice about that is if you're playing with Robo, now you know if he gets it and he's got a little bit of time to score to the net, you might as well not wait out here, go to the net.
Lastly, actually two things, really quick hitters because we're out of time. Thomas Harley is 1 point behind Cale Makar and Shane Gostisbehere, who just got hurt for Carolina. They have the lead in defensive scoring with 7. Harley's at 6.
None of that matters.
I know.
Look at where Colorado is right now. Look where Dallas is.
Yeah, but
That's all that
Harley's
matters.
putting up points, and I like that. Other thing is Glenn Gulletson his 300th career head coaching game in the NHL tonight. He needs 1 win to get to 150 wins, which would make him tied with Harry Neal.
Wait, what is this, Scully's? What?
300th game as a head coach in the NHL, regular season.
At head coach.
Yep.
Yeah. All he cares about is game 301.
Why is that? Because because he wants to get to the next one.
Yeah, well, he wants to make sure the team's getting in the right direction.
Yes.
All he cares about is this game right now.
Okay, this is 300 tonight, not 301.
Oh, I thought you said it was at 300.
No, this is 300.
Well, that's all. Then he only cares about this 300. Not that he's coached 300.
Yep.
He cares about this game only.
Gotcha.
That's what I was trying to
All right. Well, we got through it, and we have a post-game
Barely.
show right after the game tonight. So don't make sure you put on your calendar.
Right after?
Well, pretty soon afterwards.
Last one was like 25
It
minutes after.
depends on how many clips and
Depends
breakdowns.
on how quick the scooter gets back.
Well, no, the scooter's not the problem. But for Ryan Vaughters, our producer, for Craig Ludwig, I'm Owen Newkirk. Thanks
Charge
for joining
that
us.
scooter up.
We will go post-game very soon after tonight's Stars Blue Jackets game right here
We need
on
a
DLLS.
Supercharger.
I believe that
scooter.
they are going to crush these guys tonight.
We all silly like the mayor.